All right. Welcome to the nerdy phase with I'm not gonna say Ray and Serge anymore because this is Ray and so many others. Ray and friends. How about that? You like that?
Yeah, that works.
I don't like that. But hey, we got Ray Azois. He's a little distracted because he's streaming, but I don't think anyone's going to really notice him being distracted because what's new with Ray? He's always distracted.
Whatever.
Squirrel. That's Ray. And then we got Tom. Tom is continuing to exist in this space. The space is bigger now because because of 4 people, we have a wider space. So
Yeah, we all had to do more
and
cleaning
then
and shit in the back, which is bullshit, but whatever.
we got to
this for
do
the
what we got to
fans.
do for the nerd fam. And then me, Serge, the host. I do like Care Bears. I'm not ashamed to admit it. The Care Bear stare. I don't
course,
care
after
about
our-
people, but these.
I was about to say, after the last part of the conversation we had before we went live, you don't care about shit.
I don't, but these Care Bears care about you. So, and you got to see my my collection back here. So, and then today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest for you. This guy, not only does he hail from the great state of Texas, he's originally from the hottest state in the world, Florida. Lived in Springfield, Missouri, where he froze to death. Not only that, but this guy's been married for 10 days. 10 days. That's a very short time to be married. So he just got married 10 days ago. So congratulations. But we have my little brother, middle. He's not the littlest, he's the middle. Chris. It's good to have you on board, Chris. We
Dude,
we
what
hope
an
you can bring.
That introduction sounded like it sounded like you're describing one of the Game of Thrones characters, like survived in the winter, was in the hottest state of the world, and now moves. Like, golly, dude, that was awesome.
Yeah. Well. So, as always, why don't we all start off with what nerdy thing have we done this week? That's how we like to start things off, Chris. I'm sure you're a long-time listener. So, but we're gonna start off
Biggest
with
fan.
what nerdy thing have we done this week? Tom, let's go with you first.
Well, starting off, I'm continuing to play more of Twilight Imperium, but I'm playing it on an online app, and we're not even close to being done, even though we started Sunday. So there's that. And then, of course, something I'm quite sure we'll be talking about. I've been beating the shit out of some Pokemon this week.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, in what way?
We'll talk about that more.
Oh, yeah, the new game.
We'll talk about it more. Pal World. That's what he's talking
Pal
about.
World. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll talk about that in just a minute, too. Ray, have you done anything nerdy this week? As we're waiting for you to unmute, I can do it for you. Or I can skip you.
Just unmute him.
Is he? Why? Okay. There he goes.
It wasn't working.
Just did it.
I was trying to do the unmute thing, and it just didn't want to work. Jesus Lord. Okay.
I did it for you.
Nerdy thing. Oh, thank you.
You just call me
I
Tom.
don't know what's going on. I've done nothing nerdy. I started watching. I started watching the daily life of an immortal king. I want to say. So I just started watching that because I found out that there's a season 2, and I am now going back to rewatch that.
Sounds like an anime, I assume.
Yes,
it's an anime. Yeah, it's like a Chinese anime, actually. I think, if I'm correct.
No,
Mongolian.
Oh, Mongolian.
It's Mongolian.
Yes, something like that.
Okay, that might show you well.
Not interested. So
it's good.
Well, then again, I'm watching a Korean anime right now, but whatever.
It's like if
good.
One Piece was actually good.
Okay, we're gonna kick you out of this podcast now.
Shots fired.
So, but all right, Chris, have you done anything nerdy this week?
Yeah, so I'm in a huge kick right now of board games. There's this new board game that came out called Cascadia that we just got into, which is like a tile laying token drafting game that like gets you to basically build your own environment and your own nature world with animals, and you're competing against other players that are doing the same. And so it's like, dude, it is so fun. And it's like, and it's just weird because it's like everybody else is like, you're grabbing tokens and you're playing on your own thing, and it looks like this big puzzle that you're building, but you're like building a world. And I feel I feel like a Mormon. It's incredible. So with that, I think the only other thing that I've been doing is,
how many times have you been married since you got married 10 days ago?
I'm kidding.
The other thing that I've been doing is well, we're starting Avatar: The Last Airbender again, the cartoon series, to
10
get
out of
ready
10
for
would
the
recommend.
live action.
Has Emily seen it
Are you guys
before?
Oh yeah, we've seen it
Huh?
before, tons of times. Yeah. Are you guys excited about the live action or no? I have not really heard, besides one or two trailers, I've not really heard anybody talking about it, or there's not
From
I
what
don't
I've
know if there's
heard,
No, I
hype.
mean,
the original creators are involved in both the new season of the cartoon, and they're heavily involved with the production of the live action. Therefore, I have faith.
Yeah.
I have faith
What's
too. I mean,
Brian
it's
and
not like M. Night Shyamalan. Screw that.
Screwed the
Well, that's why I think that's
We
why
shall not talk
everybody's so
about
nervous about this one, just because they're comparing it to,
Well,
you know,
The Last Airbender.
no, they're comparing it to M. Night Shyamalan's live action. I
Well,
think
yeah,
that was like in 2010.
something like that. Yeah.
yeah.
What a tragedy.
Yeah. This show drops on Netflix on February 22nd, and yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited about it. I don't know. I'm nervous to see. There have been talks about they want to make it more dramatic and more emotional, is what Netflix has stated in like interviews and stuff, which makes me nervous because I never know when I'm watching something on Netflix if this is for kids or if it's not. Like who is the audience for, like when it comes to different things, and that changes. And so if it's like the acting of Stranger Things but like the drama of Riverdale, I'm not gonna like this. So
I would say
I don't know.
more broadly, more people are comparing it to every single adaptation to, anime or video game to live action. I think
Yeah.
they hit it out of the park with One Piece, but I can name quite a few, Cowboy Bebop and a few other ones that just nobody wanted to watch.
Cowboy Bebop was just really campy. That's the thing. It was really hard
I
to
love
watch.
Cowboy Bebop.
The
I'm not
live
saying
action
you
one?
specifically. I'm talking about
the live
Yes,
action.
the internet as a
yes.
whole.
I
And you were
love the
just
live
one little
action.
speck of dust on the
Yeah.
internet.
But not the live action Death Note.
No,
Live
live
action
action Death Note
oh
was
my
trash,
God.
but the live action Cowboy Bebop was amazing.
Hey,
The only thing good about live action
Ray,
was
that's the best take you've ever had.
what? Fuck! Oh, what was
That's
the name of the
best
guy?
take
I
you've
know his
had.
name. The guy who plays Spider-Man, the bad guy in Spider-Man, the first one. What's the actor's name?
William Dafoe. William Dafoe.
William Dafoe. Yeah, he's the only good part of the entire show because, well, William Dafoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
They still
throw
need to
this
make him
Let's see
Joker.
here.
fucking piece.
So let's see here. The nerdy thing I've done. I haven't really done anything. I'm in the same boat as Tom. I've been beating the crap out of some Pokemon. So it's been fun. Haven't really changed my anime. I've been watching the same one, same old. So just solo leveling One Piece, which I need to watch One Piece after this podcast, but nothing much. Still haven't finished Ready Player 2. I'm still reading that, but I did pick up a new book that I'm pretty excited to read. We discussed a little bit. It's the Final Fantasy VII book. It's what is it? A Trace of Two Pasts. It explores Tifa and Aerith's point of view on stuff. So I'm pretty pumped about that.
Oh, and side note, I started Battle Scars. Because I was going to start getting down on Jedi Survivor, and then Pokemon at Home came out,
Yeah.
And so I started playing that. But yeah, so I'm probably gonna finish the book. After I'm done finishing the book, I'm going to start streaming Jedi Survivor.
So you've been playing Jedi Survivor, right?
I'm on the second planet. I got off Coruscant.
Okay.
That's where I'm at. It crashed too many times. I'm still salty.
This is a Star Wars related, question, but so the pilot, the guy with the 3 arms. Well,
yeah.
4? Was it 4 arms now? 4 arms, right?
Yeah, he's a
his I'm trying to ask a question without spoiling. His 4th arm, is it robotic?
No.
No, okay. I was just curious.
Well, I don't know if he lost arm. I don't really remember. As far as I know, his species has 4 arms. You first saw species on the Han Solo movie.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know if his are.
No, but he how many arms does he have in the game? That's what I'm asking.
4. He's got 4 arms.
Okay.
Yeah, Grease is his name.
Grease,
yeah.
I'm
looking up an image right now, and he's got. Oh, yeah, he might have a robot arm. I never noticed that detail. He's either got a glove on or it's a robot arm. But noticing here, I'm just gonna share, and then everybody's gonna see. Share.
I was curious because I refused to play Jedi Survivor on Red Battlescar. Yeah, see, he's got the robot arm.
Yeah, that little red dots and stuff, kind of like Vader / Luke. So yeah, I would say his upper right arm.
I never noticed that.
Huh, we learned something new today.
So yeah, I was curious because what happened
to
play
Austin? This game?
We lost Ray.
Yeah, we lost Ray.
You won't play Jedi Survivor?
I will now, but I had to read the book first, and I just haven't got around. Because the book Battle Scars takes place between Jedi or Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. Like, that's why I asked about the robot arm, because I know why he has it. So I know why he has the robotic arm, and he's back. Maybe.
Yeah, so that's the plan. I'm gonna wait until I'm done because I'm already a huge lore nerd anyway. So by the time I get done with that, I'll be able to have more context when I'm playing through the game.
It's a top-notch book. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So
Mark Thompson should have narrated it.
One of the characters that I saw really develop in that was Marin. Because you see her in just following order. She's the Night Sister.
So hot.
But you really don't really understand the Night Sisters, because the only other time you see a Night Sister is in Ahsoka. Besides Clone Wars. And this gives you a perspective on how Night Sisters work, which is really cool. So, but I mean, that's just not saying anything was not spoiling it. So
yeah, no, that makes sense.
But it was a really good book. But anyways, let's dive into the nerd news. One big announcement in the world of sports. Let's start with that. First off, we got to give a shout out to our 2 favorite people. Who we know who they are, right?
T-Swift
and Travis Kelce.
Have they broken up yet?
No.
Is she writing a song about him yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
They're still together. She was at the game cheering against the Dolphins. I'm no longer a Swiftie. There's a dog.
Fergs, can you leave me alone?
So she cheered against the Dolphins, and they lost, and I'm no longer a Swiftie. Swifties are gonna come at me now. So I'm just kidding. I still like Taylor Swift, guys. But Jason Kelce, who was the center for the Philadelphia Eagles, after the game, he announced his retirement. So he is going to be retiring. But I mean, I think he'll be fine because he has the podcast with New Heights with his brother.
Yeah, I was about to say, dude, they've been making so much. I would argue he's more famous off of that.
Yeah, for sure. But it's a good thing his wife supports him, so It's really cool. Did you guys ever hear the story of how Jason Kelsey met his wife? A coworker of mine told me.
No, I
He
never heard this.
so you would think Jason Kelsey, being an NFL player, would have no problem finding a wife, right? He met Kelsey, what you call it? Not Kelsey, that's his wife. He met her on online dating, and her friends were like, "Is that Jason Kelsey?" She's like, "I don't know. I think so. He says he's an NFL player." It's like, I doesn't really look at him, and then they met him like, "Oh my god, that's him." So I thought it was really cool. But
That's so funny.
so the other thing too, and as far as playoffs, right now I don't know what the score is, but the Packers are playing the 49ers.
49ers.
Oh, dang, and it's the fourth quarter. Packers lead 21-17. And where the Ravens and Texans played, and the Ravens are they're just continuing to destroy everybody. And anyone they touch, they're just destroying. Lamar Jackson is just unbelievable. He's on fire. And then another fun fact about this playoff: every single quarterback that remains in the playoffs right now is under 30. So that's a pretty fun fact. That hasn't happened in forever. So, okay, enough
Makes
about
me still
sports.
feel like a child.
Right? Enough about sports. So this week, Xbox did a developer stream. They kind of highlighted a few of the developers. So they partnered with like the people doing Avowed. Honestly, when I saw gameplay for that, it just looks very clunky. It looks like, I don't know, to me it looked like it was still PlayStation 3, honestly. It looked pretty bad. But the biggest thing that came out of that was this. Let me show you. This was pretty cool. Microsoft Edge, where's my thing? There it is. So, I don't, can you see this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you full screen it? Just click on it. We see your screen, but it's so small we can't see anything else.
Oh, really?
No, I can see it all.
Yeah, it's just, I see just a small little box in the corner. I mean, I see it all, but I can't see shit.
Let's see here.
Oh, I didn't hear anything if there was supposed to be audio involved.
You're not hearing it?
No, I don't hear anything, and I just see a still image. I see the Edge page.
All I see is Indiana Jones, the greatest.
Oh, hold on.
Cycle theater trailer?
How's that?
There you go.
That's
Now full
just
screen
us.
it.
Let me tell you what you
Oh,
is that better?
That's better. Can you full screen it?
While you were playing your pointless game, I was playing you.
There we go.
Maybe you should have built yourself a life of meaning instead of ending up here, dead and forgotten in the sands of Africa.
Myths, history, just different ways to interpret the past.
I thought that was Van Diesel when I first saw that.
Of humanity's thoughts.
The guy looks like Van Diesel. Come on.
Just waiting to be found.
You can't just run away
from your problems, Indiana.
Watch me.
I'm pretty excited about that. The whip.
Throughout history, mankind has built sites of great spiritual significance. If you were to draw a line through these ancient sites around the globe, you get a perfectly aligned circle. I've had run-ins with these guys before. Trust me, it ain't a walk in the park.
Okay, then. Let's see if you can keep up.
What do you mean if I can keep up?
Oh, that's cool.
Patron of the fallen angels. Protector of the Churkulimani. The Great Circle.
It belongs in a museum.
Wait, is the whole game first person?
So from the developer highlight that I saw, so when you're platforming, like there's gonna be times where you're climbing up pipes and stuff like that. It goes to third person.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of the first person thing is gonna be combat. But like from the way they did it, it like I kind of like that. It looks cool. I prefer third person, but I think the the combat's gonna be cool. So hopefully it's not like it's going to be a different change like Uncharted, because it gives me Uncharted vibes a little bit, the second one. So
Mixed with Skyrim, it feels like.
right,
You have
well, it's
Uncharted, you puzzles and stuff like that, but then also like Skyrim combat kind of.
well, it's funny that you say that because Todd Howard, the executive producer of the thing, he is the executive producer for Bethesda. So Skyrim.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Machine Kills, it was a subsidy of ZeniMax Studios, who then ZeniMax Studios was bought out by Bethesda, so therefore now Machine Kills is under the umbrella of Bethesda. Machine Kills is more known for their Wolfenstein, the New Order, Wolfenstein, the Old Blood, the two new Quake games. So
And
that's
this is exclusively Xbox.
Exclusively Xbox, because it's Bethesda's new baby.
Lame.
I'm kind of shocked that Disney would allow that.
Lucasfilms,
yeah,
not?
that they would allow for only Xbox, because the Disney models always make the most money you can, market it to everything, do it all, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
Also,
go ahead.
This game also feels like, and watching, because I saw this trailer the other day, it feels like it's almost like 10 years. Like the graphics and everything are updated, but it feels like this game should have came out like 10 years ago.
Yeah, because now they did say where it does take place. So the game takes place between Raiders of the Lost Ark and the Last Crusade. So it's during his prime. So I don't know where.
My question is are there going to be any references in any of the movies that would allude that he did any of this? One, two,
probably not.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to get in there and do all the lore stuff and everything and see what's going on with that. However, though, I would say based on the voice acting and the visuals, like I'm interested.
Yeah,
I
was
was
be on Xbox
really,
Game Pass.
really worried because I saw some other stuff. Because they really need to save this IP. They killed. I mean, the one with Shia LaBeouf. That was a fun movie.
Crystal
I saw it with
Kingdom.
my grandpa. Yeah.
I haven't seen the latest one. It's the Shia LaBeouf one was the Crystal Kingdom.
No way. You haven't seen the newest one?
The Dial of Destiny, is it good?
No. It's worse than the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, that's what I've heard, and
How's
that's
that
why I have no
possible?
interest in seeing it.
Oh, dude, it's bad. At least the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull knew. I don't know. It had fun with the world that it was in, knowing how ridiculous things could get. But
Yeah.
in this newest one that Disney did, it's almost like Disney was aware that the last movie was so bad that they tried to overcompensate, and it just made things. It made scenarios, it made characters, made everything that much worse and weirder. I don't know. You have to watch it though. It blows my mind that it's on Disney Plus.
They took everything that was Indiana Jones. Granted, I need to watch it before I can really speak on it. But just based on everything else Disney I've seen recently, they're like, hey, you love all those characters and tropes and other things that you've had? Like, we don't want to be fan servicey, so we're just going to throw out the window and just ruin the fucking IP.
That's true though. The word, I think the hardest part is that Disney loves de-aging. Like they love the concept of de-aging. Like when it came to what Marvel movie where they de-aged Robert Downey Jr. I think it's Civil War, Captain America Civil War, where they de-aged Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, yeah, that's
and then they had a de-aged Princess Leia and Star Wars.
Well, it wasn't even de-aged at that point. That was just, hey, we're gonna just throw somebody. Yeah, I mean it's all CGI at that point. Same with Grandma Parkin.
Deep fake, right?
Yeah, deep fake. Yeah.
Flashback though, you can't have old Robbie Downey.
Well, yeah, I mean I don't have a problem with
flashback if he's like fucking 70.
That's true.
Out of all the things people are complaining about the new movies, like the de-aging / all of the deep faking, I think is the best we're gonna get. I mean, I do like the idea of, okay, if you're going to get Han Solo, let's say another Star Wars movie comes out, they do something with Han Solo. Maybe instead of trying to de-age or deepfake, Han Solo, just throw the fucking Han Solo guy in there. We've got a new character. Like we as an audience, we understand the characters that we love are going to grow old. We can't make content with them forever. So just throw a new character, throw a new actor in there. We'll accept it,
And then I don't know. I think there's ways that you can do it. Like when they de-aged Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian, I thought, man, they did such a good job. But when they did it in Indiana Jones, it felt weird because it was the first half hour to 40 minutes of the movie was that just constantly. It wasn't like, a cameo. It was like the whole first half of that movie was him de-aged, and that's what made it really
do it the right way. They didn't do it the right way.
And so I don't know what you can do with that IP after this last movie, because I'm excited that they're coming out with this game, but it does feel like with the Uncharted, like with how popular Uncharted was, it is weird that no other console kind of touched that genre of adventure gaming. Like nobody else did that, and so now it feels weird that they're doing that. What games?
They tried Tomb Raider. They rebooted the Tomb Raider, and that Tomb Raider became like the Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, then Shadow of the Tomb Raider. They did the same thing with it. Now the first Tomb Raider was I haven't played the other two, but I played the original, the Tomb Raider, the first reboot. It was really good, but near the end of that, I got kind of bored. I'm like, okay, let's just end this. I'm like, I couldn't,
I'd like to play and finish the game, but my biggest complaint, her boobs weren't pointy enough, and they just ruined it. It doesn't look like the Cybertruck. I don't want it.
It's not the PlayStation 2 Lara Croft. I'm sorry. But yeah. So, but yeah, I think it's gonna be good, and I think this would be a good spot for Indiana Jones to go back to. So.
Yeah, but I've got faith. I've got my concerns, but I've got faith that after seeing that, it might be good.
So earlier, Tom and I talked about how we're beating the shit out of Pokemon. So this new game released yesterday, Pow World, and it is taking the gaming community by storm. Okay, it's upsetting Pokemon fans because they say they looks too much like Pokemon. The the way they introduce it is Pokemon with guns. Okay, but in fact, this game is so it's so big. In the first 8 hours, it sold 1 million copies on Steam.
No way.
Yeah.
1 million copies.
And that's
And
on
it's
Steam
not,
alone.
and it's not even full developed. It's early access. So
wait, so is this game's mature audience? It's like a.
It's not bloody. It's not
no,
gory.
it's
Kids
18.
could play it. It's
I'll say
I would.
teens.
It's like Fortnite.
I would say on the same
Yeah.
level as Fortnite. It could be E for everyone, but just because you are, because there's no dismemberment, there's no blood, So yeah, I'm shooting. As of right now, I'm shooting a crossbow to Pokemon. There's no gore to it.
So the game is kind of like it is a survival game. So you do have to build a house, build stuff like that to survive. And then eventually you start capturing pals. They're not Pokemon, they're called pals. And you have this little ball, it's called Pal Sphere. Instead of a Pokeball, they call it a Pal Sphere.
Oh my
And
gosh.
Yeah.
and then like the way to it's kind of like similar like how Arceus was. You can throw it open world, but the difference is in this one, like the human, your character can go physically. You can go, you start punching these Pokemon in the beginning. It's satisfying. You can go
Yeah,
and
first
punch
weapon
them.
you build is a baseball bat. Then you get a spear, a bow, a 3-shot bow, poison bow, fire bow. I'm on a crossbow right now. But yeah, no, I don't like survival games. I think they're super boring and repetitive. I'm having a blast right now.
Yeah,
Oh my
same.
gosh. Wait, so they have like equivalent of like Pokemon, if they have a Pikachu in this world, they have something that's kind of like it, or no?
I've seen an electric mouse type thing running around.
There's this little thing.
It looked more like a Raichu.
If you have this game currently, you can also beat and capture humans.
Yes.
Yeah,
you can enslave you can enslave humans to guard your camp.
Wait, so that are like other players, or how does that work?
No, NPCs.
No, just NPCs.
Like
there's towns and everything you go to.
Like somebody owns me. Like I'm playing online and then somebody catches me and I'm like, I guess I can't play the game anymore.
They should do that. And they can keep you for like 48 hours, or they can sell you. You have to escape from your new owners.
Like I'm on a Japanese server. I don't know how I got here, but I've been stuck in this world for like 60 days because somebody caught me.
It'd be like Skyrim when the jail like arrests you and you spawn in with nothing and you got to find your way out.
Dude, so I'm looking up some of these things and I like some of the character designs. Like I'm kind of blown away. It looks so much like Pokemon though.
Did you catch a human yourself or no? This is someone else.
This is just some random video.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Beat the shit out of them, throw a Pokeball.
Very low capture rate, huh?
Yeah,
the video I saw was a guy and he did it on like first try attempt.
Well, he probably had his stuff leveled up. Ooh, I like that armor though. Can't wait till I get to that level. God, how do people have lives where they could just play that much and be able to get that upgraded, and the game's been out for just over 24 hours?
So how do you think
the guy's shooting
it's called PTO, Tom? PTO. Use it for things that are important, called gaming.
Even if I use PTO, I don't have time to do that. I have other things to do.
Wait, so when does this game officially release? Or like
I don't know. There's a roadmap for it.
Know it's going to be like what, Eve? No, not Eve. What is that one game where you're going to start Starship? Not Elite Dangerous. Starfield, yeah. That game I think is still technically open access and it's over 10 years old. Which is bullshit. Like, okay, no, the game's fucking completed at this point. You just keep updating it.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about Starfield again.
I still think it looks.
Did we ever talk about Starfield?
Maybe we should forget about it because the game sucks.
I'm a super fan. I think it's good.
It's a grind.
That's actually part of this news. I think because I think the new Star Wars video game is gonna outdo Starfield.
Yeah, that's true. Star Wars
Outlaws. Is it supposed to be that open though?
I wanted to ask.
It's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be.
Go ahead,
on, guys. My boner can only get so hard.
Ray.
Is that Indiana Jones video game? Is it going to be open world?
I doubt it.
I don't know.
think that's going to be a linear
It
story.
doesn't look
Probably
like
not.
that.
That sucks.
Probably not.
Dude. They would make whenever they make a movie into a video game or a book into a video game, like what they did with Harry Potter. If they made that an actual open world, that would have been fucking dope. And I'm not like saying you got to make different dimensions and shit, but like an Indiana Jones freestyle to where if you're robbing somebody, you can like, okay, it's 3 blocks away. I'm gonna go in from this route with my rope and then like fucking whiplash this guy, jump out the building, go 4 more blocks down. Like that would be cool.
And then just play GTA and call your guy Indy.
GTA. And again, GTA the same way. You can't go into every building. There's never been a game that makes it to where you can access everything.
Yeah.
You can play GTA on PC, mod your guy to look like Indiana Jones, and call it good.
Real talk.
Can I have a whip?
Probably.
Yeah.
No, but you can nay.
Indiana Jones in the nightclub called Destiny.
That's what I was about to say. People get the wrong idea if I'm sitting there with a whip on GTA.
I've seen Timon get down on GTA, okay?
Sitting there fucking running around the map saying, call me Indy, call me Indy.
Shit, I was gonna say something I already forgot. Oh, I just want to go on a side tangent though about the whole Harry Potter universe. Like,
yeah,
you know, let's just go to the books and stuff. Like, obviously we've got the books, and we got the movies, and then we've got the I guess prequel books or what I don't know.
Fantastic, the prequel movies.
Yeah, like
There's
I guess
books.
prequel, right?
There's
well,
no
I know.
books for
That's why I
those.
said books and movies on those two. There's so much they could be doing with that stuff, and honestly, sci-fi in general, I really wish they would incorporate old school magic stuff into nowadays stuff. So what if, what would happen if it was World War II and there was a bunch of Harry Potter, type wizards running around? Like, what would happen? I wish people would explore that. I mean, hell, or even like the war in Iraq. Like, throw Harry Potter in the, like, obviously not specifically Harry Potter, but there's so much stuff that they could be doing with these IPs, and they're just not doing it, and it makes me sad.
I mean, I've played games where they where it was on Xbox 360. It was a tactical RPG.
Mhm.
I think it was called Operation Darkness or something like that. I have to look it up. Well, Hitler is raising an army of vampires, and you have to try to stop your secret team that knows about this. No one else does, and you have to try to
that's
stop
like specifically just
Hitler.
vampires, right? It's not really about
It's
like
having... like the true historical accuracy of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Oh yeah, no, that's a great book. Obviously nonfiction.
It is nonfiction. What are you talking about? Abraham Lincoln saved us from vampires. That's why there's no vampires, because of Abraham Lincoln. Not only did he stop slavery, he saved us from vampires. So
are you really talking
I'm talking about more stuff like with like actual established lore. So again, there's established lore in Harry Potter. So what would happen in everyday life, or even D&D? Like the closest thing I think they've ever got was the movie Bright, which I think Bright was a fantastic movie. I don't understand how that movie.
D&D?
What?
Of D&D?
Live action D&D on real time.
Yeah, he's talking about making like movies like
Bright.
Like,
did you ever see Bright on Netflix?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen
Bright.
Yeah.
Like that was like one of its kind. Is there any other movie out there where people are like witches, wizards, orcs, fairies?
Dungeons and Dungeons and fuck, what was that movie? It was literally
Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
Yes.
But that was in the medieval times.
Yeah, that was medieval around the time period of like, when you play D&D, you play it in like not current time.
You can't make a current time magic film. If you did, it would start off with some guy named Jackwad over there with a needle in his arm or some shit. You can't make it nowadays.
Sure, you can.
I mean, I'm already hooked. Come on, keep. What's the next scene?
I don't know how that would work. A new age. We don't have enough cool stuff nowadays.
What do you mean?
We don't have anything that's cool nowadays. Like, fucking nothing. There's nothing. I can't even say
So-
what it is.
Well, I mean, so let's imagine you have a secret society, just like Harry Potter. Nobody knows that witches and wizards exist.
Yeah.
Obviously not Dumbledore, shit.
You're
Voldemort,
fucking Fred.
he wanted to take over the world and everything, but he still kept everything within the wizarding world. He didn't go and try to assassinate, world leaders or anything like that. What would happen if everybody was secret and they were all honor among all these, gentlemen and gentlewomen and everything. So nobody ever went out and revealed themselves to the real world. So you've got people with,
That's
ARs, M16s, just regular projectile weapons going against an entire, a percentage of the population that have the ability to use magic. I would love to see that.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So if we're talking about like stuff happening in nowadays time, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that you haven't seen the new Percy Jackson series.
I have not. No.
You should watch that because it's now.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Now,
Yeah.
But is there like orcs and stuff, or is it just Percy Jackson?
Yeah, so it's nowadays time. So it's like right now, 2024 officially, but it's now time. But it's happening with minotaurs and like they're about to go to Hades. I don't want to ruin too much, but
like Greek mythology
film, you know what they're doing. But
okay, no, I can see that
magic and shit, but hidden, kind of like what you're talking about.
Okay. So the big wave of anime right now is the isekai animes.
Yeah.
Solo Leveling is actually doing what you're talking about, Tom. So Solo Leveling is taking place in modern day Korea because it's a Korean it's a Korean webtoon. So it's modern day Korea, and all of a sudden, like 4 years prior to the beginning of the show, these portals started appearing, and these other creatures like orcs, goblins, and stuff like that are inside. So all of a sudden, when that happened, so the humans started developing powers, and so they was like, oh, now they can measure how they can do spells and fight and stats, and they got this thing. They became what's known as hunters. So the role of hunters is to go to these portals and conquer the dungeon, because it's a dungeon. It's like an instance. You conquer the instance. If you fail to conquer the instance, then the if you don't do within when the timer runs out, the portal breaks and the orcs and goblins and all this stuff invade the city. So
okay,
so Solo Leveling's only on its right.
It's what?
It's only on its first episode. Solo Leveling.
It's on its third.
Third? Oh, okay, damn.
Okay. Yeah, I just watched the third one today. But yeah, it's. I mean, they're coming out with an idea, and I was gonna say, speaking of Harry Potter, because I think Harry Potter, like the idea of it, the reason why they were able to do Hogwarts Legacy, is because the domain became open, and anime came out with like stupid stuff with it. They have this one. Well, one of them I watch is kind of cool, but they started coming out with these animes that are houses battling. Like there's this Reign of the Seven Spellblades, which is kind of stupid. And there's this one that I watch. It's stupid, but it's like somewhat entertaining. It's called Mashal.
What do you mean the domain opened? Like, because obviously it hasn't been the 95 years, so people can't make TVs and movies and other things using specifically Harry Potter Hogwarts.
Not specifically, but the like, for example, they can make things in its likeness. So it's not like open domain where they can take the exact thing like Mickey Mouse is doing or Winnie the Pooh has done or the Grinch, but they can it's not public domain, but they can take the concept of it and do stuff with it and not have to worry about
if you find any information on that, send it my way, because I'm not even sure how to start Googling that.
Yeah, because they have look up if you look up these two animes, Reign of the Seven Blades and then Mashal. Same thing. Like Mashal has got 4 houses, and the 4 houses are competing against each other. And if every time you beat someone from another house, you earn coins. So, it's on the second season. It's really cool.
Okay.
But, anyways, so moving on from that. Hey Chris. So let me ask you a question. In the morning, when you get up, what do you feel tired, or what do you do to get yourself, pepped up?
Oh, dude, I'm always low on energy, and I wish that I had like something to help boost that. I don't. I usually wake up and I'm just like obliterated and tired.
Well, hey,
Obliterated? What the fuck were you doing the night before? Jesus. Come on, man. You're married now.
10 days. He's 10 days married, so I mean, at this point, he would be obliterated. Once you get later on, you're not. You're just like, oh, I'm too tired tonight. Sorry, dear. But hey.
True fact.
So Tom and I have a solution for you. Tom and I, we have Dubby. So with Dubby, that's right. We still don't know who has the best cup because no one voted in our poll. So let's vote on this. This is a big deal. Dubby gives you all the energy without the crash and jitters. So right now I have
Tom
Granny.
has the best.
I don't care what you think, Ray. Right now I'm drinking a sludge. It's like sludge lime or something like that. It tastes like Granny apple. It's really good.
Wait, is it juice or is it like powder that you put in the water?
It's a powder you put in the water.
And honestly, powder you put in the water, and you shake it up. It's got like a little shaker, and it's really it doesn't taste powdery. It doesn't really taste too powdery.
Dude, no way. Wait, how can I buy that?
So you just go to Dubby, and if you use promo code Surge, I think it's just Dubby.gg. Use promo code Surge, and you get 10% off your next purchase. The other thing too, if you go to my link tree on the Nerdy Phase Instagram, click the link tree right there, and you see the link for Dubby. Takes you
or
there.
Or down in the description below.
Down in the description below as well. I'll put it in there. Just click it, and when you click Dubby, you just pick the product you like, and your promo code's on there for you automatically. So
I just bought 3 cases.
Nice.
Yeah, start off with the sampler pack because you get the cup and everything with it. You get an idea of what the flavors are and everything. The lemonade flavors were a little more tart than I was wanting them, but there was there's a couple good ones in there. There's like a mango one that was really good. There was I really probably should write down the ones that I actually like. So one, I could go back and buy more of it. Two, so I could speak to it. But yeah, no, I was actually pleasantly surprised. I don't like doing watermelon. I think out of anything watermelon flavor I've had, I've been pretty impressed with their watermelon flavors.
Wow, dude, look. They even have Star Wars flavors. They have Galaxy Grenade.
Yes.
I want to try that one. But yeah. So Dubby, promo code Surge, 10% off.
Oh, yeah, they also have their hydration ones. So right now, since it's the evening, it's hydration because after this is bedtime, and I need to actually go to bed. So yes, they've got both the hydration and they've got the caffeine. The caffeine is a coffee extract, so it's not you're not pumping your body with a bunch of chemicals you don't need.
Exactly.
I'm sold. I'm already sold.
All right, guys. So let's talk about the subject at hand here. Let's start off with the big one, okay? The big one. So Star Wars, right now Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni saved the Star Wars universe with the Mandalorian.
Yeah,
so in the way the Mandalorian ended, you would like, ooh man, Mando and Grogu. That was some pretty good stuff, right? And you were thinking of when it ended, it's like, is it going to go the direction of Bo-Katan, who walks both paths? What more can they do? Well, the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, Star Wars is coming back to the silver screen. That's huge news. So, I don't know what they're gonna. They haven't really said what it's about, what it's gonna do, but I'm kind of curious because my big thing is, where's Mando and Grogu during the sequel trilogy? They just out chilling somewhere on their little home planet being sheriffs.
Going to be doing that stuff.
I don't know, but so it just I'm just curious what they're going to be doing with it because where are they going to go? What are they going to do? You know what I mean?
Well, I'm hoping that if we spent the majority of season 3
Oh, yeah.
on Mandalore.
My Disney hat from a few years ago.
That's so boss.
Doesn't work with the headset though.
We spent the
doesn't.
majority of season 3 on Mandalore. Did you watch season 3, Sergio, or no?
Yeah, I saw all of season 3. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that they get to just kind of do it like Star Trek and then just explore brand new planets that and just not dive into any characters that we've seen in all of the movies. I want new characters, new stories. I don't want them to go back into anything that we've already seen, because I think oh man, I have such a big complaint of the recent Star Wars movies, because I feel like they always have to try to retrace the Luke Skywalker or the Skywalker saga in some way, and I want them to. I don't want them to do any of that anymore.
Well, the thing is, everything they have released, TV shows, movies, things like that. It's all the Skywalker saga. We have not stepped outside the realm. Now the books brought back the High Republic. Yeah. The books brought back High Republic. And then the Young Jedi Adventures. That's the timeline of that. I just recently found out it's set in the High Republic.
Yeah.
So, which is kind of cool.
A young Yoda and a bunch of other stuff. I watched a little bit of it, but I do need to complete that series just because it is canon. Because it's canon, I've got to get down on it. Of course, I also have to. I need to figure out the rest. I need to figure out what the actual chronological timeline is, at least in terms of the books, to get down. Because I listened to the first one on Audible. It was pretty fun. Pretty much they were talking about the ability to just throw things out from hyperspace and have it going pretty much like almost the speed of light, going towards planets and just destroying them. Which is pretty cool. I would like to see what the actual implications are in terms of the what do you call that? How that technology could have been used in the new movies, or at least the timeline that we're familiar with. But also there's this one character who got abducted by the bad guys, and he was like my favorite character, and I really want to know what happened to him. I wish I remember his name, but it's been like about a year since I've read that book, so I forgot a lot of the info on it.
Right. So I mean, the other
as
thing
you were
coming
saying,
out,
Starlight Beacon though.
Starlight Beacon,
it's been damaged, so I got to figure out how it was damaged, and then from there, then I should be able to see
because,
what.
And I was gonna say, in Young Jedi Adventures, the next season, they've been showing clips of Jedi becoming Jedi in Starlight Beacon, and I guess in the High Republic, Starlight Beacon was a big thing. So, was a big place to visit.
Wait, so with Mandalorian, with this movie, you think they would dive into like what Ahsoka's timeline was in season 1, and with everything that happened with Thrawn? You think that's like a culmination, or is this just a Mandalorian movie and they're not doing any Ahsoka or any of the other shows into this?
Starlight Beacon, by the way.
Starlight Beacon.
Yeah, so there's a Jedi Tower, and the rest of it's just kind of a Republic space station out in the deep edges of space, towards the outer rim, I believe, mid rim or outer rim. So it's pretty much just like a hub so not everybody has to go to Coruscant for everything. But
so
yeah,
I think the new Mandalorian movie should just be more so of continued adventures like they did in season 1.
I'm kind of hoping for an Avengers type thing where everybody comes in. That's my hope, because right now they have to take care. Like, I don't understand how it wouldn't be an Avengers type event, because as of right now, oh my god,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Moff Gideon is the bad guy along with Thrawn. So there's absolutely no way that you've got Thrawn and Gideon out there. They're not team. I mean, they have to team up, and our people have to go against them. Plain and simple.
This would be really
Now,
cool.
I'm really curious on how Ahsoka is going to get back to the main galaxy.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
They could be in a whole nother universe, solar system. They could be, no,
they're in a different galaxy, 100%.
Yeah, that's right. So they don't have to come together.
They don't have to. Well, you still have Bo-Katan. Who else? Are we missing anybody else, really? Oh, and Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. Yeah, Boba Fett's the leader
Boba
of.
Fett.
I don't know what he's doing, but whatever.
Yeah, so you've got the oh my god, what's the rebel group from?
I thought there was
Rebels.
only two
Phoenix Squadron.
I thought Mandalorians were like rare. Why is there so many Mandalorians now? They're popping up all over the fucking place.
Well, they're not true Mandalorians. They're people.
Mandalorian, and then
okay, here, real quick, what does it mean to be a true Mandalorian? Do you even know what a true Mandalorian is?
Oath, you never remove your mask.
No, that's a creed. A Mandalorian is the Mandalorian is it's just you're a citizen of the planet. The planet what's the name of the planet? Mandalore. You're born there, Mandalore. It's like saying Tom is a St. Louian. Christopher is a Floridian. He was born in Florida.
I know,
that's what a Mandalorian is. But they're making it into. They made it in the Mandalorian show. There is a sect of people who who started studying the creed, and from the past, and are just making people Mandalorians. Just like you find old Jedi, young kids, and you can bring them into the Jedi Order. And now you're a Jedi. Yeah. That's what they're doing. That's what the Mandalorians have become. But it wasn't that way at always. It was just people born, because that's why they made fun of Bo-Katan, because she took off her helmet on and off, because Bo-Katan is the only person there. Not the only person. I think Bo-Katan is one of the people there that is an actual natural born Mandalorian. She's
Mandalorian royalty. So, but I don't. So I would say she is a true Mandalore in terms of like I am a true American in terms of I was born in the U.S. versus somebody who comes over from, let's say, I don't know,
Turkey.
Somebody comes over from Turkey and
they become
hey, what's really cool? The Constitution and rule of law and this and that and taxation with no taxation without representation kind of bullshit. I would say that's a lot more true American than somebody who was born in the U.S. and wants complete control of the government and blah blah blah. It's I would say a true Mandalorian can be both things, but there's never been, but it's definitely not a race, because there are Mandalorians who are not humanoids or who are not human.
I didn't know, because like in the Mandalorian, the TV film, they made it seem like you take off your helmet, you're no longer one of us. So I thought
that's the one sect of Mandalorian. They were
yeah.
all living there on Mandalore. And what's the moon of Mandalore?
I don't remember that.
Mandalorian.
Well, you also have to take into account like
Cordova.
Cordova, yeah. Okay. You take into account because the people, the two sects that you see mainly in Clone Wars is Death Watch, right?
They took their helmets off.
And then the other side you see is what's her name?
The armor?
Duchess Saltine.
Oh, Satine?
Saltine, she's the pacifist side, which Mandalorians were not pacifists, but yet she's a pacifist. So then you see
around.
Huh? And then you have Gar Saxon, who are Mandalorians who work for the Empire. So
did Gar Saxon? I don't think Gar Saxon worked for the Empire.
Gar Saxon, he was an Empire Mandalorian. I could be wrong. I thought he was. He had the red armor.
Oh yeah. So no, the red armor was because he followed Darth Maul, And the reason why
That's true.
Fall of
Okay.
Darth Maul is because he beat
Vizsla, pre-Vizsla.
Vizsla in single combat. So that's Mandalorian as fuck right there.
So
I also just looked this up, and Dave Filoni is like he's set to direct his own Star Wars movies. That's going to be different than this Mandalorian movie, because this is just Jon Favreau with Dave Filoni producing. But then Dave Filoni has his own Star Wars movie that's going to combine Ahsoka, Boba Fett, and Mandalorian. So it looks like these are two separate projects.
Oh, you talk about the Mandoverse?
Okay, so there's going to be an Avengers Mandoverse with
so
Dave
it looks
Filoni.
like, and that's going to have like Ezra and Bo-Katan and all those people. So it looks like there's a Mandalorian and Grogu only specific movie, and then there's the Dave Filoni Thrawn as the big baddie explaining Snoke and the Emperor. That leads to Episode 7.
That'd be cool.
Interesting.
The other thing coming out this year is there's 4 things for sure coming out this year. The Skeleton Crew, with Jude Law. We haven't really seen much on that though.
Yeah, not a whole lot. I'm interested.
So yeah, Bad Batch season 3.
Super excited for that.
Yes, 100%.
I just started season 2, so.
Really?
Yeah.
It's good.
And then for whatever reason, I just couldn't get into the Bad Batch. I just, I hate the drama.
It's hit and miss. The end of the season is better than the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I just don't like the whole thing with Crosshair. I chose the winning side. I'm like, oh, you're an idiot. You already took out the inhibitor chip, and he chose to be good or evil. Fuck you, Crosshair. So
this is the last season, I think, too. I think they're ending the Bad Batch on season 3.
Yeah, it's curious to see how it ends. And then the other thing coming out is the Tales of the Jedi. Season
Love
2.
That show.
Tales of the Jedi season 1 was really cool.
So good.
I like the Ahsoka parts were cool, like but the Dooku parts.
Yes, I 100% agree with that.
Just seeing what triggered him to go to the dark side, And
when you honestly, really get balls deep into the whole Star Wars lore and everything, when you actually start seeing how, ultimately Dooku was right all along until he took that extra step and killed Yaddle. Like, if it wasn't for him killing Yaddle, like he was, he was 100%, yeah, I mean, because let's face it, the Jedi Order, they were no longer following the Force. They were following, that happened in, I would say, about the same time that, not Plagueis, who's the big guy who started the Rule of Two?
Darth Bane.
So there was a law passed back in Bane time. Of course, this isn't canon. This is all legends. But as of right now, since there's nothing contradicting it in canon, there was a law passed where the Jedi had to have additional oversight from the Jedi Council, and then because of that, they started not following the Force, where people like Qui-Gon, which that's a big debate in itself, is the whole gray Jedi thing.
Well,
honestly, the gray Jedi, from my interpretation of a gray Jedi is really the truest sense of a Jedi, where they are just following the Force. It's not that they have control or have access to the dark side. It's just they listen to the Force and they follow the Force. They're not listening, they actually see right and wrong. They don't see all this gray area. So he could have been a great, gray Jedi, but unfortunately he was so worried about doing, quote, the right thing, that he did the wrong thing, and then he became, Darth Sidious essentially had a gun to his head, saying, "Kind of fuck now. You did some bad things. There's no going back.
Well,
so you got to do bad things now." It's like Epstein Island all over again.
I truly believe that if, first off, I'm going to say this, I think Qui-Gon Jinn the way he died was poor writing. I mean, he got robbed. There's no way Darth Maul can beat Qui-Gon Jinn. That was stupid. But whatever, it is what it is.
He could beat him. He did not beat him the way, just a lightsaber through the gut shouldn't have been the way he went out. The death should have been more brutal, but ultimately, Qui-Gon was getting older. If you actually listen to the books and everything, the reason why he took a knee is because he was collecting the Force to get one last gush of energy to try to get it done and over with.
Right. But I think if Qui-Gon was still alive, I don't think Dooku would have returned. I think Dooku and Qui-Gon would have left the Force or the Order together.
The Order, yeah.
And it would have been a completely different thing. They would have been,
well, Luke Skywalker. Well, not Luke. Anakin Skywalker wouldn't have been Darth Vader if he survived.
No, and I mean, if we're getting into this, Anakin's turn, in my opinion, was Ahsoka leaving the Order. If Ahsoka stayed within the Order and Ahsoka continued to be his Padawan, Anakin would have not turned. Ahsoka
I think
was the key thing.
A drop in the bucket, a large drop in the bucket, but I think ultimately, and then, it was destiny for him to turn. I guess.
And then the other person
you could say it was destiny for Qui-Gon to die, so Anakin could turn into Vader.
And then,
but I wouldn't. But you definitely, if you were involved enough into the books, like, and not just watching the movies, but actually reading, the Phantom Menace, reading, all of those, the prequel books, you'll realize it's not just Ahsoka; it's everything with the Council.
The Star Wars
Mace
series?
What?
Star Wars has a book series?
Yeah, no, they've got novelizations of all the movies.
I thought it was a movie.
It is a movie,
Mace
but you can't.
Windu.
You don't know what the characters are thinking though in the movie. You do know what they're thinking in the books.
Yeah.
Mace Windu, first off, is a complete a-hole. Okay.
Yep.
He's a
badass, but he's an a-hole.
He talks about my boy.
I don't think no, Mace Windu is not dead. Okay, mark my words, he's not dead. If Darth Maul can survive being cut in half, and he can come back, come on, Mace Windu can survive with his hands chopped off. He has to. Return.
Didn't he fall from hella high up too?
Come on, how many times have Jedi fallen?
So yes, if you really think about it,
Mace
yes,
Windu
his hands
fell
got
from
cut
space.
off. His blood essentially got his arms were cauterized instantly. Therefore, he did not bleed to death. He could have used the Force to slow his descent.
Can you stub with the Force?
Survived. What?
Do you have to have hands with the Force, or can you use your stubs?
No, you don't. You just have to be one with the Force.
This is for anyone for the Star Wars people that are watching right now. You need to bring him back. Get Samuel L. Jackson. Get him on over.
I would love for that, but I feel like they've gone too far in the current lore.
Yeah, he's not going to come back.
To happen
is one episode with a flashback, and we're good.
I mean, touche. But yeah, no, he's gone.
But anywho, so the other thing that's coming out this year, and this is the one I'm most excited for, is the Acolyte. I
am least excited for that one. Would you like to know why I'm least excited for that one?
Go ahead.
Because Kathleen Kennedy is in charge of that.
Yeah.
She's going to put a chick in it, and she's going to make it gay and lame.
I was about to say, I'm the least excited about this one, too.
It's just the fact that she had to make a whole entire, come out, make a whole post and everything about how much she hates men and how much she wants us all to just feel uncomfortable, and she enjoys it so much. Usually, I don't.
That was the uncomfortable was was another female director, but
no,
hold on. Continue.
I don't care. I'm just excited for the story. The reason being is because all this time you see everything we see with Star Wars is light side, Jedi. Why don't they release a story or Acolytes? It's gonna be dark side. Like they need to release a whole thing on the the dark side. Like the
premise sounds good.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I like the premise of it.
But unfortunately, this is what we're going to get.
You have a problem, people? No problem at all, Mrs. Kennedy.
We were just discussing ideas of what to do with the new Prince Eric movie.
Put a ticket in, make her gay.
Yes, Miss Kennedy. Some of the execs are just expressing that maybe.
Well, that maybe we should go a different route than we did with Indiana Jones.
Fuck Indiana Jones. Put a ticket in, make her name it gay. Any diverse woman in it, make it sad.
But Mrs. Kennedy, Bambi's a baby deer.
Fuck it.
Oh my god.
Yes, that is exactly what's going to happen to the Acolyte.
Yeah, okay, I can see that, but the premise of it is pretty exciting.
The premise it sounds super cool. I like the premise. Not excited for the show.
But
I will say it has isn't this the show, or am I thinking of another show that they're wanting to introduce the Wookiee Jedi into this show? I think that's the Acolytes, that they have a Wookiee Jedi that's like one of the main characters. I'm like, dude, that's cool. Because that one Wookiee that was in Boba Fett, he was the main reason why I finished Boba Fett.
They've got quite a few, I mean, not quite a few, but I can think of, I know of a couple young, or at least one young Jedi Wookiee, and that was in, oh my god, Clone Wars, they've got a young Jedi Wookiee.
Yeah,
and that same one shows up in
Nubs?
Bad Batch. So it's not the first time we've seen it, but yes, I think that'll be pretty cool.
Now, see, the thing is, like, I really want to see more things with the Sith. Do you know why Darth Bane invented the Rule of Two?
Yes.
Okay, the
Sith. I mean, this isn't for us. This is for the audience.
For the audience.
Do you want me to explain it, or do you got it?
I mean, for the most part, it's just the Sith want power. So how do you gain more power? The Sith pretty much killed themselves, and Darth Bane was like, "Dude, I can't constantly keep fighting. Blah blah blah. We're gonna make this rule." And so once the Sith
even
kill
more
themselves,
importantly, so 3 weaker people will decide, "Oh, we don't want this person to be in power." So these 3 weak people will team up against the more powerful person and kill that person off. So now you've got 3 weak leads versus having 1 powerful lead. So yeah, that's why there's the rule too. There will always be the master and the apprentice. Whenever the apprentice starts, there's an actual quote. Hold on, I'll get that quote.
Yeah, because the apprentices have killed all of them. So
yeah, I guess that's true because Anakin killed Dooku.
Well, Dooku was the only exception.
Okay, there we go. 2 there should be, no more, no less. 1 to embody power, the other to crave it. That's it.
Well, the thing is, so it's legend now, but Darth Plagueis or Plagueis. Okay. His apprentice was Palpatine. And Darth Plagueis was he was actually a very influential person in the world because he was part of the Moon Clan, which their clan were bankers. He was in charge of the bank, essentially.
Yeah, not the in charge person, but yes, he did own
one of the main people for the bank.
Damascus Holdings was the company that he owned.
And I don't know why this book, Darth Plagueis, is not legend. He's canon, but his story, the book, was a legend. But
everybody's going off as of right now, everybody is using it as canon for now. Which I just want to also say, Plagueis's master was a Bith. Do you guys know what a Bith is?
No.
Hold on.
Isn't that something you do with your prison knife?
But Darth Plagueis killed him.
No, it's what I do in the
bathroom.
Like
he took advantage of the landslide and then used he used his force to kill the thing. Now Darth Plagueis is influential in the sequel trilogy because he's the one that was studying the midichlorians, and he was the one studying the force. Oh, okay.
That is a Biff. Yeah, it's just like
I forgot about that.
I'm surprised that they use them as the master of Plagueis, just due to the fact that they're so lame.
They play me.
Well, maybe he was a badass.
I mean, no, he was totally a badass.
Real quick,
obviously not that big of a badass because he literally got killed by a
landslide.
Pretty much, Yeah, he got killed by a landslide. Yeah. Did you read that book, Sergio?
I did. It's one of my favorite books.
Why does his head look like a ball sack?
It does.
It's a terrible design.
Well, at least he's not a Balchinian.
But see, like Darth Plagueis, he found Palpatine. He found him interesting, and Palpatine was just a young guy trying to get a Senate, and it was really cool how they did it. So, but he's the reason. He's the reason why cloning became so relevant, because Darth Plagueis was scared of dying, so he was trying to find a way to clone himself, find himself in the midichlorians, and the midichlorians did not like that.
Which in Legends, technically, Plagueis is Anakin's dad. But I think they retconned it.
No, it is canon. Well, they kind of made it to Palpatine doing it, but it is canon. Yeah, they did it. Palpatine did it. So in the comics, so it's kind of cool.
So have we figured out what Yoda's race is yet? Because Grogu is the same race.
They have not. That's the thing, and that's one of the things with the I was listening to this other podcast. I recommend it's Inside the Force. They're kind of hoping like maybe the Mandalorian Grogu, they're going to explore and actually for the first time ever reveal Grogu's race.
That would be cool. However, though, what
is the Mandalorian? Is that like canon and all that good jazz?
Yeah, that's all canon.
Okay,
so
they made
George Lucas specifically said he wanted the race to be mysterious. So just because of his wishes, I hope they don't explore it. But yes, I think it would be super cool to figure out what planet they're from, what their species is like, which is kind of. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's kind of like Dragon Ball Z. No one knows Frieza's race. They just don't.
Yeah.
So, but what about I think the one I'm kind of worried about this one. Taika Waititi's movie.
Taika Waititi, yeah.
Taika Waititi's his Star Wars movie. I'm kind of worried about that one. I feel like it's not gonna be. It's going to be either a hit, it's going to be a miss, because.
Do we know anything about it? Like what time frame?
No.
Who's it revolving around? Nothing.
Well, I don't know if that's green lit yet, though, right?
It is. It's
not
in development.
Official.
It is official. It's in development. From what I've read about it, it's going to be after the sequel trilogy is what he wants to do. So, it's going to be just a whole different story from what he's wanting to do. So I don't know how they're gonna do that, because they're doing they're doing New Jedi Order with Rey leading the New Jedi Order, which
who's doing that?
Charmin Obaid Chanoy.
I think she's Indian or Pakistani, one of the two. I could be wrong on that. But
she's the one that did Miss Marvel.
Oh yeah, she is.
Yeah, she is.
She's the one who says, I like to make men uncomfortable. I'm like, oh, wow, I'm super excited to see your movie now. Wow, thank you for alienating, 90% of your viewers.
So,
man,
now, the person doing Dawn of the Jedi is James Mangold. So,
he directed the newest Indiana Jones movie.
Oh, God.
That's James Mangold.
So we just don't have high hopes for anything besides Jon Favreau, because
Jon Favreau and especially Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni is the big. Honestly, actually, here's the one person I would love to start taking up the mantle is the guy who does the voice of Ray. Not Ray Park.
Ray Park is Darth Maul.
Yeah, the guy who did the voice in the cartoons.
Oh yes.
And Star Killer's voice. I've been watching some clips of him and everything, doing some interviews, and it's like, well, in Clone Wars, there's a scene where Anakin's talking to his his mom, his dead mom, or the spirit or ghost of his mom. It's like, oh yeah, and you would have, I really wish you would have met Padme and everything. And then he was like, hey, real quick, like I know I'm the new guy here, but didn't they actually already met in the first movie when they were on here? And then he was like, oh no, am I going to get fired for keeping up? But then Dave Filoni was like, okay, no, you're right. Let's rewrite this. So I like seeing somebody who's that big of a nerd. Like, he's in the industry already. Like, I obviously I don't want him to stop doing his voice work that he's doing, but I would love to see him start transitioning to actually producing and directing and other things, provided he's got the knack for it. But I'd like to see what he could do.
I'm kind of worried about Ahsoka season 2. Because
has that been confirmed?
It has been, yeah.
I'm not worried about it. I'm actually overly excited.
I was, but what are they gonna do about Balin's skull? So at the very, I don't know if you noticed, but the very end of that series, you see the 3 statues.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know those 3 statues are, right?
Yep.
Chris?
Father, the daughter, and the son.
Yeah, from the Mortis arc in Clone Wars.
And
yep.
Oh, I thought that was in Rebels, but yeah, you're right, that was in Clone Wars.
So, but the thing is, Ray
It's
Stevenson
referenced.
passed away. So they could go a couple of directions. Direction number 1, recast him. I mean, I think he can be. I mean, it sucks to recast somebody, but Balin's skull in itself, it's not like Leia or Han Solo or anything like that.
I mean, luckily, all they have to do is, as long as whoever they have has an epic beard like he did, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, but the other direction they can go is they can go where, because he's the they could go where Ahsoka is trying to find a way out of where she's at, and she discovers that Balin's skull was searching for something, and then along the way she decides to investigate what he's been searching, and finds him dead in his search.
I think that would probably be the best way to go about it.
So
I mean, there's 3 ways. Third way is deep fake, but hopefully either A, they just recast him, because I'm definitely interested to see what his character's doing. But
dude, Balin's skull was next to Thrawn. I mean, he was.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he
I
beat the
agree.
crap out of Ahsoka, which I was like, what the heck, man? But he was also a veteran Jedi. So, but I don't like his apprentice Shen Hati. But
so, does anybody know what they might be searching for?
Oh, I had an idea, but I can't remember now. What were they searching for?
It's I'm hoping it's Abeloth.
Abeloth.
So Abeloth.
Yeah.
Chris, are you good? Do you know who Abeloth is?
No.
So it's one of the books. I forgot. Oh, it's one of the Legends books now. Something. I think it's during or either during, before, or after. But it's tied to the. Oh my God! Now I can't think of the other group. Oh shit! There's a group. There's a race of aliens outside of the galaxy that go around and literally like kill pretty much almost all the Jedi and like billions, if not trillions, of people in the Star Wars galaxy. I can't think of them right now, but she's like this monster type thing that is pretty much trapped in a black hole, or trapped in like almost like in Solo, where they've got those black holes that they go into.
Yes.
And then there's that monster. So it's something similar to that, but she's like some kind of powerful force entity or something out there, and she's terrifying.
That's cool.
But yeah, I mean, Balin's skull to me was I've had people. I was like, dude, he was a cool Sith. I'm like, you're wrong. He was not a Sith. I was like, what?
No,
like, look at his lightsaber.
He wasn't.
Yeah, but some people think he's a Sith. So he is not a Sith.
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah,
like The Witcher.
All speculation, but terrifying character from everything I've heard. So I have not gotten down on those books yet. I've only been like watching like breakdown videos and stuff. But I hope they go this direction. One of the biggest pet peeves
I heard about
ever
that
heard
too.
is when Kathleen Kennedy's like, oh, well, it's not like Marvel, where we've got all this stuff to pull content from.
Marvel has more content than Star Wars.
More content, yes, but it's not like they are lacking content to pull from.
Yeah,
No.
true.
Man,
I'm surprised we're not talking about the best Star Wars TV show that ever came out.
Which is what?
Oh my god, no.
Andor season 2 is coming out.
Oh shit! I thought you were gonna be
was,
some smart ass comment. You're gonna talk about the Christmas, the holiday special.
No, I hated
Okay.
that. Dude.
I didn't get there. Yeah.
All time to this day, my favorite Star Wars TV show that ever came out, or probably property, is got to be the Rogue One, but Andor too. Andor season 1 to me was the best of what a Star Wars TV show could be.
People, what the fuck?
How did you know?
Okay. Because Star Wars, I usually reserve to watch with my wife because she's a huge Star Wars fan as well, but she couldn't get into it, and then she was like, "Well, we'll watch it." So we kept putting the back burner.
It is a lot slower.
I'm on like episode 6, so I'm almost done with it. But it just
it's 2 slow episodes and 1 badass episode. Two slow episodes, 1 badass episode. But the biggest thing is that it's all about. Here's the thing: it's not even about the lore. It's not even lore heavy. Like it's very much
character
politics heavy. Actually getting the nitty gritty about what's going on in the universe at this time. Showing what happens when you have too centralized power, and it's one of those things. Of course, I could get all political on here. It's like, okay, like this is the perfect example of like, what centralized power does. But in general, though, like it was, I think it. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how to explain it, but in general, though, I think it's probably one of the best, stories told by Star Wars, because it's not a fun, lighthearted. It's definitely very dark, very gritty, very sad. It's definitely showing what life looks like for your average everyday person. Like it's almost like one of my favorite scenes in Kenobi was when Vader was just walking down the street and he just ripped somebody from the fucking window and just snapped their neck and just drug them across the ground. Like, people don't understand how evil the Empire was. Everybody knows the Empire is evil, but that shows you how evil they are.
Yeah, dude. Empire... Andor to me was a game changer of what Disney Plus TV shows could be like, because I just could not get behind Kenobi. I did not like Boba Fett. There was like a huge trend, I think, of this was 2 years ago though, right? I think, and then even this past year was just like the only stuff I felt like was like animated stuff that was good, and then Ahsoka was hit or miss depending on certain plot lines. But
the thing is with Ahsoka, Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Andor, you can watch that just straight off the streets. Oh, I've never seen anything else. I'm gonna start watching this. You couldn't do that with Ahsoka.
Yeah, it was very. If the people who enjoyed watching that were people like me, who were just like lore, Easter egg.
I loved Rebels.
That kind of stuff, yes. But no, I could definitely see how the average everyday person.
If you did not watch Star Wars Rebels, Ahsoka means nothing to you. It doesn't, because it picks up right after that.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Like you could watch Mandalorian and be like, oh, okay, cool. It's a whole new story within the same universe, same timeline after the Return of the Jedi, but it's a whole new thing.
The casting of Ezra was on point, though.
Oh, yes, Ezra. Ooh, he really did a good job. So I honestly like.
But I just didn't like the dynamic between Ahsoka and Sabine as much. Like I didn't like Sabine's character.
I didn't understand that dynamic. Like, where did that come from? Like,
that's what I'm saying. That was not. Yeah, that's.
And I still don't like the idea of just anybody can use Force abilities. I know,
dude.
I know Serge and I got in this conversation semi recently and everything, but one of my big things is like, if anybody's going to be Force sensitive, you could say that Han Solo. He's force sensitive. He's not deflecting, lightsaber, blaster bolts or anything with a lightsaber, but he has an amount of luck on his side. It's obviously he is in a calm state. He's thinking about what's going on, and then the force is driving him to make the right decision. When to turn, where to turn, that kind of stuff. That is the max. I feel like people either A, you have force abilities, or B, you are in touch with the force, or C, you don't have any connection with the force at all.
See, like Sabine in Rebels, she was a total badass. Like the way she fought, her style, everything, right? And I feel like in Ahsoka, they really diminished her character, trying to give her force abilities. Like she didn't need all that; she could fight without it.
No, the entire point of being a Mandalorian was the ability to actually go head to head with a Jedi.
Yeah.
Or Sith.
Right.
Without having force abilities.
The only reason Sabine even had training with a lightsaber was because of Kanan Jarrus when she found the darksaber on what's the Darthamir. Found the darksaber there, and she was like, "What do I?" And then she started training with that. Because the darksaber belongs to a Mandalorian. So.
No, it was Malachor. Was it Darthamir?
It was Darthamir, yeah.
Night Sister planet?
Yeah, it was a Night Sister planet where they fought Maul. It wasn't Malachor. She found it on Darthamir.
Oh my god. Not Ahsoka. The Sabine.
Rebels.
Yeah, you need to finish Andor.
I will.
Okay, yeah, you're right. It was Darthamir.
Of course I'm right. Come on, I love Darthamir. So, but yeah. That also leads into let's see here. There was one that I don't see it. Like the Mandalorian season 4, Boba Fett. That the status and that's unknown. What do you think? Do you think they should continue on the Mandalorian season 4? And if they do, I mean, who's it gonna follow? Is it gonna be? That's what I'm saying. Like, is it gonna be a Bo-Katan story now? Because technically, it's called the Mandalorian. It's not necessarily Din Djarin, Mando.
Din is still a Mandalorian. They still need to follow him. It needs to be him and Grogu. I would like to see Grogu start getting more Jedi training in general. I mean, obviously he hasn't gone that route, but I hope what should have happened was they should have continued the entire concept of the Jedi should have changed a little bit, where you do have the ability to love and have relationships and everything, because that's what, well, of course, because that's what Legends did. But I mean, that's what Legends did.
That's what Luke Skywalker did in Legends, but not in the new one.
Yes, he totally smashed Mara Jade. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
but,
because of that, he should be able to have a relationship with Din. Obviously not that kind of relationship, even though he is 50. It's consensual at that point. But the point is, though, he should be a Jedi Mandalorian, and then he should eventually be getting the Darksaber, because the person who created the Darksaber was
a Jedi.
Mandalore.
Well, he was the first Mandalorian Jedi.
Yeah.
My whole hope for Mandalorian season 3 was, if I were to redo that or rewatch that, would have been to just have all of season 3 of Grogu with Luke and Mando on his own trying to survive without Grogu, and then at the end of season 3,
then he makes the decision.
Not like he did in Mandalorian season 2.5.
I think Boba Fett rushed it, because I don't know if it was because of low ratings or I'm not sure, but that was just like a way. It just made season 2 of Mandalorian feel like trash for watching it because of the ending didn't stick.
I think
I enjoyed watching Boba Fett, but I think they I couldn't say they ruined Boba Fett, but they definitely changed Boba Fett.
The best thing about one of the best things about Boba Fett, other than when the Mandalorian came in, was when Boba Fett fought Cad Bane.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Is he dead?
Because,
Is he dead?
I hope not.
I hope not either. I mean, the reason why that was so significant is because Cad Bane trained Boba Fett. Cad Bane was the greatest bounty hunter in the Clone Wars. Like, you know, like throughout many episodes, he took on several Jedi and lived. So, I love Cad Bane.
Mm-hmm.
He shouldn't die. He should continue on.
Yeah, I'd like to see more of him. But at the same time, though, like I don't know how long their race lives. I don't know how old he is. You know, again, at some point in time, people need to die. They need to move on with the story.
Yeah, this is a good year for Star Wars, though. I will say that. I think this is going to be a good year.
Let's wrap up with this. You know, because we can go forever on Star Wars. Despite all the Star Wars stuff, like despite like everything, you know, not as good, like Book of Boba Fett, whatever, I still like it regardless, you know. Might take me a bit to watch it, like Bad Batch, and Andor, but it's being Star Wars, I still like Star Wars. To me, I want to wrap up with what do we think they should do with Star Wars? I think the couple of things they need to explore within Star Wars. I think they should explore the Old Republic. Get into the Sith Lords, or you know, get into Darth Revan. You know, show the rise and fall of Revan, because Revan was a great Jedi Master, and then he became, you know, he fell to the dark side. You know, in the game Knights of the Old Republic. Or bring back the Sith Lords, you know, Darth Nihilus and things like that. I think that would be really cool to explore. Just that Old Republic, the Knights of the Old Republic, pretty much. The other thing too, I really would love to see Cal Kestis come to live action.
Unless they kill him off, I feel like that's going to happen at some point in time. There's no reason why he shouldn't. But at the same time,
I mean, there's going to be a third.
They kill him off.
There could be a third game, so.
Yeah.
I liked Cal. My whole take on Star Wars and where it's at now is they need to tighten up on writing. They need to make a movie or something that is set 100 years in the future, to where it's so far enough from the Skywalker saga that everything's brand new, but it still feels like it's Star Wars with the universe, and then they can just make their own. I think I'm just done with the tie-ins of this is episode 6.5 or this is episode 8.2 because this takes place between this, and you're trying to fit everything into everything. I think they have enough of the lore and the characters and the universes to just take the IP and do something brand new with it without having to refer to.
I think they could do both, provided they retcon the sequel trilogy. If they just say the sequel trilogy was a mistake,
but they can't because of Rey. Because Rey's coming out with the new trilogy. It looks like.
Well, yeah, no, they had the opportunity to say we screwed up. It's time to reboot the storyline, you know, and we're gonna start seeing scenes of Luke Skywalker smashing Mara Jade. Plain and simple. If they start doing that, then they could save the franchise. But I think I think they should do both. But yes, 100 years in the future, new stuff. I just want to leave, one of my favorite videos of George Lucas.
As the creator of Mara Jade.
Wait! I am not the creator of Mara Jade, and I want you to get out of this office right now.
I'm sorry, Zach.
No way.
You brought you brought it on yourself.
I don't want you here.
I'm sorry, George.
What in the world is this?
I got your voucher.
Out!
Is this for real?
Apparently, George Lucas hated Mara Jade. I mean, it's a real video, but it was all staged. It was all staged.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
it was
hilarious,
Seth Green at the table there.
It was great though.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'll leave my thoughts on this one. I was going to say, I think if J.J. Abrams would have directed all three movies, I think it would have been a whole different thing.
It could have been a lot better, yeah.
The
fact
Last
that
Jedi.
they left
Last
it in the
Jedi
past,
messed it.
they killed it, they fucked it up.
Yeah, Last Jedi is what messed it up. Because they brought J.J. Abrams back for the last one. I'm like, but the Last Jedi made no sense and how those two fit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think the Last Jedi was its own movie with like, say this is a movie that they did minus Luke Skywalker. I think it would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
So
I think those movies should have been either Heir to the Empire or they should have been the I still can't fucking think of the race of aliens.
So let me ask you this: was Benicio del Toro the person they were looking for, or was it just a person they decided to use because he was there?
Sorry, repeat that question, but the Yuzong Vong is the race I was thinking about. If you guys don't know about the Yuzong Vong, look them up. Continue.
I was going to say the character. They're supposed to look for the gambler, right? In the Last Jedi to help him. So Benicio del Toro, the guy who betrayed him, was he the gambler they were supposed to be looking for, or was it somebody else they were supposed to be looking for? But they settled on him because he told them, "I can do it."
He was a great character. I'm so sad they threw him away so quick.
He was a good character, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think he was one. I personally don't think he was the one they're looking for. I think they settled on that.
Yeah.
So, but anywho, let's wrap it up here. So, as always, guys, this is a Star Wars episode. We will talk more about Star Wars in the future. I can guarantee that. Look forward to that. There's a lot to do. I actually want to deep dive into a lot of Star Wars lore, a lot of Star Wars history. I really want to get into that. So, we'll save that for another time. So
keep it out Tuesday and or Thursday. We're probably going to be streaming Pokepals.
Pokepals. Pals for life.
Yes.
And just because we're pals for life doesn't mean I'm gonna be doing Leroy Jenkins into a mob of Pokemon. I'm telling you that right now. So if you but anyways, as always, like and subscribe. You can find us. I'll put our link tree in the comments or in the description of the video. And on YouTube. YouTube will have the audio version released on Tuesday at 5 p.m. as always. On Wednesday, we will have the video version released on YouTube. So it'll be a 24-hour exclusive for Spotify if you want to watch the video. But yeah, like and subscribe us. Everything is now the Nerdy Phase. We have the Nerdy Phase Instagram. Search us on Instagram. You can find the link tree there. We have the Nerdy Phase Facebook group. Everything is there. So just find us, follow us, love us. So, and Tom, you have anything going?
So I'm officially trying to upload videos on my YouTube page. It's now officially up there. Mobile Ninja. I used to do cell phone sales back when I created this. And that was also back when pirates were cool. Well, the pirate versus ninja thing was cool. So it's MOB1LEN1NJA. Mobile Ninja. Just the I's are ones because lead speak is coolio. So I've got a few shorts. I hit my limit of shorts. I didn't realize that was a thing. I've only got one video up right now. Again, I'm learning. I'm hopefully in the next week or two we'll start having a little bit better quality. But yeah, there's that.
Ray?
I need to try to join you on that soon.
I'm on Twitch. My Twitch is the Surge 1182, but it's the official Nerdy Phase stream. So if you follow that, be rest assured that either Tom or Ray will be streaming with me. We do have a couple games we do want to play. So, but Chris, it was good to have you.
Well, real quick, Chris, are you on the social medias at all, or are you just just here for the podcast?
No, I don't want anybody to follow me. I just wanted to say, best lightsaber color you could ever have is purple. So
orange. I like the orange lightsaber.
I'm always a blue and green. Dual. When I play KOTOR, it's always dual wield, one blue, one green.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like I said, it was good to have you, Chris. I'm sure we'll have you again sometime. Especially when we talk about the state of the MCU. Look for that podcast because the state of the MCU is going to be legendary.
The MCU.
But hey, as always, Nerd Fam, stay classy, and we'll see you on the flip side.
Ooh, we should release that on the same night as the State of the Union, and have it State of the MCU Union address.
That would be a good one.
Yep,
we should do that. But anyways, peace out.
Deuces.